Very good morning. Welcome to Space channel. Today I am going to start the third part of the fundamental right. So please stay tuned and no need to read more heavy textbook like M. Laxmikant because I am going to discuss word by word, line by line of this M. Laxmikant textbook itself. No syllabus is going to be skipped here. So please stay tuned. And before starting this series, one small request from you guys. Please subscribe EduSphere channel and press the bell icon in order to get notified soon. As soon as I upload the video, you will be first viewer to watch this video and get benefited, right? And please write down in comment section if this series is going to be helpful to you or not, right? Let's start. Right to equality. Right to equality, that's nothing but equality before law and equal protection of laws. Right to equality deals with that equality before law and equal protection of law, right? So Article 14 says that the state shall not deny to any persons equality before the law or the equal protection of laws within the territory of India. This provision confers rights on all persons, whether citizens or foreigners. Moreover, the word person includes legal persons, example, that statutory corporations, companies, registered societies, or any other type of legal person. This entire paragraph, this entire paragraph deals with what they are giving information regarding Article 14, right? What they are telling about Article 14. Article 14 is that nothing but every person is equal before law and equal protection of laws they are telling, right? So thing is that what Article 14 says that any state no shall not deny any persons equality before law or equal protection of law within the territory of India. This provision confers right on all the persons, whether citizens or foreigners, right? Okay, they are talking about various corporations, they are talking about various companies, they are talking about registered societies, they are talking about any type of legal persons, right? So this concept of equality before law, the concept of equality before law is of British origin, while the concept of equal protection law, while the concept of equal protection of law has been taken off from the American Constitution. This kind of question may come in UPSC prelims exam. What is that? From where equality before law came into picture? From where equality before law came into picture? That nothing from British origin. While the where concept of protection of law came into picture, equal protection of laws came into picture, that nothing but from American constitutions, right? The first concept can, the first concepts that nothing but the absence of any special privilege in favor of any persons. Next one, that equal subjection of all persons to all law and land administered by ordinary law codes. C part, no persons which whether rich or poor, high or low, official or non-official, is above the law, right? Means in rough idea we can say that nothing but there is no partiality, right? No partiality among rich persons or poor persons, high persons or low persons, official persons or non-official persons. Everybody is above the law, right? That means sorry, no person is above the law, right? Law is on the top, right? Below law everything comes, right? Next thing they are talking about means this is the concept of equality before law, right? Concept of equality before law means everybody is equal, no person is above the law, that equal subjection of all persons to ordinary law and land administered by ordinary law codes, right? Next is that second concept, on the other hand cannot the equality of treatment under equal circumstances, equality of treatments under equal circumstances, both in privilege and comfort and liabilities imposed by law. The similar application of same laws to all persons who are similarly situated, and C part, the like should be treated alike without any discriminations. Thus, the former is a negative concept while the latter is a positive concept. However, both, both of them aim at establishing equality of legal status, opportunity, and justice. The Supreme Court held that where equal and unequal are treated differently, Article 14. Article 14 does not apply, while Article 14 forbids class legislations. It permits reasonable classification of persons, objects, and transactions by law. But the classification should not be arbitrary, artificial, or evasive. Rather, it should be based on int intelligible differential and substantial distinctions. Next is rule of law. Rule of law. This concept of equality before law is an elementary concept of rule of law. Concept of equality before law is an elementary concept of rule of law propounded by A.V. Dicey. A.V. Dicey. A.V. Dicey was the British jurist, right? And his concept has the following three elements. What are those three elements of rule of law? That nothing but absence of arbitrary power. Absence of arbitrary power. That's nothing but no man can be punished. No man can be punished except for breach of law. No man can be punished except of breach of law, right? Equality before law. Equality before law, that is equal subjection for all citizens, even either rich or poor, high or low, official, non-official, right? And third one, primacy of rights of the individuals. That is, constitution is the result of rights of the individuals that is defined as enforced by court of law rather than the constitutions being the source of individual rights, right? The first and second elements are applicable to the Indian system, not the third one. What is third one? First and second elements. These are the nothing but first and second elements are applicable to Indian systems, not the third one. Third one is the primacy of rights of the individuals. That is, constitutions is the result of the rights of the individuals as defined and enforced by the courts of law rather than the constitutions being the source of individual rights. Okay. Supreme Court held that the rule of law as embodied in Article 14, right, is a basic feature of the constitutions. Hence, it cannot be destroyed even by the any amendment also with the help of any amendment. This rule of law cannot be destroyed. Rule of law is equal for every person, right? Every citizen of India. Next is exception. Exceptions to equality. The rule of law, rule of law before law is not absolute, and there are constitutional and other exceptions to it. These are mentioned below. What is it? President of India and Governor of a state enjoy the following immunities under Article 361. Article 361 gives President of India and Governor of a state some immunities. What are those things? President of India or Governor of a state is not answerable to any court for exercise and performance of powers and duty. Right? President of India and Governor is not answerable to any court for exercise and performance of powers and duties of his office. Right? No criminal proceedings shall be instituted or continued against President or Governor of any court during the or Governor in any court during his term of office. No arrest, no arrest, no imprisonment of President, Governor shall be issued from any court. Means no court, any court cannot issue that what arrest warrant in terms of what President or Governor, right? No civil proceedings against President or governors, right, shall be instituted during his term of office in any court, right? Whether before or after entered upon, before or after he entered, right, the office until the expiration of 2 months, that expiration, that nothing but expiration of 2 months next after notice has been delivered to him, right? 2 months after, 2 months after next to notice delivered to him, right? No person shall be liable to any civil or criminal proceedings in any court in respect of publication in newspaper, right? This article 361 is discussing about that nothing but what, no person will be liable, no person will be liable to any court, that nothing any civil or criminal proceedings in any court in respect of the publication in newspaper, right, of substantially true report of any proceedings of either houses of the parliament or either houses of the legislature or state, right. No member of the parliament shall be liable to any proceedings in any court in respect of anything said or any vote given by him in parliament or any committee thereof, that nothing but article 105 deals it with. 105 deals with that no MP shall be liable for any proceeding in court in respect of anything said or any vote given by him in parliament, right. Article 194 deals with that nothing but no member of legislature, right, of any state, no member of legislature of any state, they can do any proceeding in any court in respect of anything said or any vote given by him, right, in the legislature or right committee there. Article 194, right. Article 31C, 31C is an exception to Article 14. Sorry. Article 31C is an exception to Article 14. It provides that law made by state for implementing the directive principle contained in Clause B or Clause C of Article 39 cannot be challenged on the ground that they are violative of Article 14, right? Where Article 31C comes in, Article 14 goes out, right? No foreign sovereigns, rulers, ambassadors, diplomats enjoy immunity from criminal and civil proceedings. United Nations Organization UNO and its agencies enjoy the diplomacy immunity right. Very good. Article 15. There is nothing but prohibition of discrimination on certain grounds, right? This Article 15 that no discrimination should be on the behalf of religion, sex, race, sex, caste, place of birth, etc. Right? So in this topic, there no Article 15. There no much more confusion should be there, right? We are talking about discriminations. We are on the behalf of that race, caste, sex, place of birth, religions, and all, right? So second provision of Article 15 say that citizens shall be subjected to disability, liability, restrictions or conditions on the grounds only of religion, race, religion, race, caste, sex or place of birth with regards to access to shops, public restaurants and hotels and place public entertainment, etc. Right? The use of wells, tanks and all, bathing ghats, roads and places. Public means public resorts anywhere, means in general you can see throughout the India everything is free, right? No casteism on the behalf of whatever, on the behalf of drinking water, on the behalf of using public places, on the behalf of that casting and all. No, it should not be there, right? Article 15 deals with this racism on that caste, casteism, that sex, place of birth, etc. Right? When a special provision for women and children must be made by state, right? Because just like reservation of seats of women in local bodies, right? Even that the provision of free education for children. So the education must get free education. That is home responsibility. It's what state responsibility. State is permitted to make any special provision for the advancement of any social and educationally backward classes citizens, just like Harijans and all that. They must be educated, right? Social, even scheduled tribes, SC, ST, scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, they must be permitted to be socially educated, right? And even the reservation of seats must be there. Even fee concession must be provided to them, right? And public education institutions, right? We need to understand these things, right? The state is empowered to make any special provisions for advancement of any socially and economically backward. This already I discussed. Okay, this is here only that 93rd Amendment Act 2005 need to understand what's there in 93rd Amendment 2005 Act, that nothing but in this provision center enacted that nothing but in this central educational institutions they discussed regarding the reservation admission, that nothing but providing 27% of providing quota of 27% candidates belonging to OBC. 27% quota goes to OBC, right? In just higher education, just like IIT, IIMs and all, right? In April 2008, Supreme Court upheld the validity of both Amendment Act of OBC Quota Act, right? But court directed the central government to exclude the creamy layer advanced sections of the society among the OBC, right? While implementing the law, right? So, creamy layer, we need to understand who comes under creamy layers. Simply think and answer. We belong to that nothing but children of different category. People belongs to creamy layer, right? Children of the following different categories belong to creamy layers among OBC and thus will not get quota benefit, right? Children of this following different category belonging to creamy layer, right? And they are not allowed to get this OBC quota benefit, right? First one, person person holding constitutional post, like if somebody is president, vice president, judge of Supreme Court, High Court and all that, they are talking about some UPSC members, SPSC, State Public Service Commission members, Chief Election Commission members, Controller and Auditor, CAD, Controller and Auditor Generals and so on. These people belonging to creamy layers. Group A services, after UPSC you are going to get Group A Class 1 services, Group B Class 2 services. These are all India services, all central and state services employees, including that public sector unit, PSU, bank, insurance, or universities and all professors and all. These are all what and also in private employment, that what these things are coming under, these persons are coming under what creamy layers, right? Persons, suppose a person of colonel rank, right, above in army, equivalent post in the navy, air force and all parliamentary forces, and all professional like doctors, lawyers, engineers, artists, authors, consultants and so on, right? Persons engaged in trade and business and industry, people holding agricultural land above a certain limit and vacant land or building in urban areas, right? Persons having gross annual income more than 4.5 lakh. If you are earning more than 44.5 lakhs, so you are belonging to creamy layer, right? And 93, what thing happened? 1993, that when creamy layers ceiling introduced, it was 1 lakh, and subsequently it increased to 2.5 lakh in 2004 and 4.5 lakh in 2008, that 2008, and presently in 2013 it raised to ceiling of 6 lakh, right? If somebody is earning more than 6 lakh per year, 6 lakh per year means what? That person is belonging to creamy layer, right? That's why with this point, if you will consider, then you can think about that Tina Davi and all that. They got what they are belonging to OBC category, and people were opposing their what getting not getting criminal benefit, and also even human, those persons are also true, but the thing is that they got the seat in UPSC on the behalf of their hard work, so it's our duty to respect their work, their hard work, right? And in getting rank 1, so no need to oppose that. Personally I don't oppose those things. I belong to general category, but I respect rank 1 of UPSC. Next is that nothing but equality of opportunity in the public employment. Article 16 provides the equality of opportunity for all citizens in matters of employment or appointment to any post, any office under the state. No citizen can be discriminated against against the ineligible for any employment or office under the state on the ground of any religion, race, caste, sex, recent places of birth, residence, etc. Right? So there are three exceptions in this general rule of equality of opportunity in public employment. What are those things? First one, Parliament can prescribe residence as a condition for certain employment or appointment in a state or union territory of what? Of local authority. Of local authority. Very good. Or other what? Authority as a public employment requirements. Very good. Parliament can prescribe resident as a condition for certain employment or appointment in a state or union territory or local authority or other authority as a public employment required to residence acts, right? So Act of 1957 expired in 1974. There is no such provision for any state except Andhra Pradesh, right? A state can provide for a reservation of appointment or post in favor of any backward class that is not adequately represented in the state services. State can provide for reservation of appointments or post in favor of any backward class, right? That is not adequately represented in the services, state services. A law can provide the incumbent of an office related to religious or denominational institutions or a member of its governing body should belong to the particular religion or denominations. A law can provide a law can provide the incumbent of an office related to religious or denominational institutions or sorry or a member of its governing body should belong to the particular region of the denominations. Here we discussed about Mundell Commission. Let's go for the because these cases are very important for UPSC. At least it means and all. If somebody is mentioning these points, means it becomes answer becomes more powerful. So Mundell Commission and aftermath in 1979, the Morarji Desai government appointment the second backward classes commissioner under the chairmanship of BP Mundell in MP in terms of Article 340 constitutions to investigate the conditions of the socially and educationally backward classes and suggested the measures for their advancement. The commission submitted its reports in 1980 and identified as many as 3,743 castes, socially and educationally backward classes. They constitute nearly 52% component of the population, excluded scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. The commission recommended for reservations of 27% government job for other backward classes OBC, so that total reservation for all amounts to 50%. It was after 10 years in 1990 that VP Singh government declared reservation of 27% government job, right, for OBC, VPC. has given 27% government job reservation for OBC. Again in 1991, Narsimha Rao government came. Narsimha Rao government introduced two changes. What are those changes? Right? That preference to the poorer section among OBC. Preference to the poorer sections among OBC in 27% quota. That is adoption of economic criteria on granting reservations. Reservations of another 10% job for poorer economically backward section higher caste also, who are not covered by any existing schemes of reservations. In means in previous generation of has given reservation to higher caste also, that nothing but 10% jobs for poorer economically backward section of higher caste, who are not covered by any existing schemes of reservations, right? In the famous Mundell case 1992, that nothing but at scope and extent of Article 16 Clause 4, that which provides for reservation of jobs in favor of backward classes, has been examined thoroughly by the Supreme Court. So the court has rejected the additional reservation of 10%. So later court has rejected the additional reservation of 10% for this poorer section of higher classes, right? And it upheld the constitutional validity of 27% reservation of OBC with certain conditions. Example: advanced section among the OBC creamy layers should be excluded from the list of beneficiaries. No reservation in promotion. Reservations should be confined to initial appointments only. Any existing reservations in promotion can continue for the 5 years, right? Total reserve quota should not exceed 50% except in some extraordinary situations, right? The carry forward rule in case of unfilled vacancies is valid, but it is not. It should not violate 50% rule. Permanently statutory body should be established to examine complaint of over-inclusion and under-inclusion in the list of OBC. With regards to above ruling of the Supreme Court, government has taken the further actions. What are those things? Ram Nandan Committee, when it's appointed, and what happened in that, appointed to identify the creamy layer. Means the Ramanand committee appointed was being appointed for what, identifying creamy layer of OBC, right? So they submitted a report in 1993, and this 1993 report is being accepted, right? NCBC, National Commission for Backward Classes, National Commission for of Backward Classes, National Commission for Backward Classes, established in 1993 by an act of parliament, right? And this thing being notified to all backwards, notified as backward for the purpose of job reservations, right? In order to nullify the ruling with regards to reservation in promotions, 77th Amendment Act was enacted in 1995, right? It added new provision in Article 16 that empowers the state to provide for reservation in promotion of any services under the state in favor of Supreme Court and sorry, not Supreme Court, sorry, favor of scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, right, and that are not adequately represented in state services against 85th Amendment Act. 85th Amendment Act of 2001 provides consequently seniority in case of promotion by virtue of rule of reservation for the government servants belonging to scheduled caste and scheduled tribes with retrospective effect from June 1995. Backlog vacancy in 81st Amendment Act discussed of 2000, right? The new provisions in Article 16 that nothing but it empowers the state considering unfilled reserve vacancies of a year, right? can to be filled in succeeding years, right? Such class of vacancies are not to be combined in the vacancies of the years which are being filled up, determining the ceiling of 50% reservation on the total number of vacancies, that is vacancies of that year. And in brief, it ends the 50% ceiling on reservation in the backlog vacancies, right? 76th Amendment Act 1994 has placed the Tamil Nadu Reservation Act of 1994, Tamil Nadu Reservation Act of 1994, in ninth schedule to protect it from the judicial review, as it provided for the 69% of the reservation far exceeding the 50% of the ceiling, right? And from abolition of touching, abolition of untouchability and all, not touchability, abolition of untouchability, that I will discuss in the next part of this video. Fundamental rights going to be little bit bigger, right? Part fundamental right, fundamental duties, DPSP, Supreme Court, High Court, Panchayati Raj. These are some higher topics, right? So first I'm going to cover those some higher topics that keeps repeating in exams, right? So think that what first cover higher topic and then go for rest of the topics just like election commissions and all, right? So stay tuned, and if you like the video, that please like the EduSphere channel on Facebook, as well as like, share, subscribe, comment, and please spread the word of education, and stay tuned for getting more videos, and please subscribe my channel and ask your friend to subscribe my channel also. Thank you. Bye bye.